Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Club at 22, your Rangers podcast. I am your host this evening, Ryan Haymarch, and hopefully my Wi-Fi lasts longer than Kmart Roof's fitness. We are live on YouTube this evening. If you can all get involved in the comments and get your questions into the guys. Just a wee plug for us as well. We have mentioned it a few times that we have passed the 1 million views on YouTube, but to support us to the next million, if you can subscribe to the channel, drop us a like, that would be very much appreciated. And of course, share the podcast as well with your friends if you can. Also, to support us to the next level, you can join the YouTube channel for as little as 99 pence a month. And you can also buy the podcast a coffee by joining the Coffee Legend membership via buymeacoffee.com. That's buymeacoffee.com. All the links are in the description for the podcast. And even if you want to leave a wee comment and tell us why you've bought us a coffee, if you've got a favourite podder on here, i.e. Scotia, you can put a wee comment there and say you've bought him a coffee. So don't feel under pressure to buy the four of us a coffee. We appreciate any donations. It is really, honestly, really appreciated. So let's introduce the guys, not the need introduced. Firstly is Mr. Ali Pearson. Ali, how's your week been this week, mate?
That's been not bad. The Rangers didn't ruin it. They surprised me Wednesday with that fantastic performance, which we'll probably talk about. But no, it's been a good week, and I'm looking forward to Sunday. Decent kickoff time as well, so looking forward to it.
Yeah, same here. And is it right? Is that Love Island coming to an end this weekend, or is it next weekend?
Ryan, I'll be honest, I sacked it about a week ago. Sacked it. I gave in. So
is there a part-time supporter then?
Maybe part-time supporter of Love Island, so they'll be absolutely raging at me that I didn't fully commit to it, but no, I binned it.
Rumours are they've not recruited well in the summer, but I'll leave that to you. Maybe we can do that. We can do that in another podcast. Next up is Scotia Gamel. How are you this week, mate?
I'm good, Ryan. Thank you. Yes, as Ali says, fairly enjoyable during the week there. I loved the wee cameo by Mr. Carney as well during that pod that we done after the game. No, absolutely flying, and I'm looking forward to Sunday, like Ali says.
Good man. And last but not least, if you can do it in sign language, mate, how are you feeling? I hope you're feeling better.
I'm feeling slightly better. As you can tell by my voice, I'm not fully there yet. I've seemed to have just lost my voice, which is weird now, but I'm better than what I was. But yes, I was in my sick bed the past couple of days, unfortunately, and then pulled my back this morning, which getting out the car at work, which is just tremendous. Definitely think it's Kmart Roof. What do they call it? Sympathy pains that I'm getting for him. But it's been a hell of a week in terms of me personally, but it's been absolutely fantastic with the performance that Rangers put in on Wednesday night. So yes, looking forward to getting into this, mate.
Yeah, I mean, we all get colds and man flus and whatever, but at least you didn't put a black and white picture of yourself on your Instagram. As if something passed away.
That'll come tonight, mate. That'll come tonight.
No worries, that's good. Right, well, everyone, we're here. We're going to discuss the Hibs game and obviously the upcoming Raith Rovers game on Sunday. Ali and Scotia both did a reaction pod on Wednesday night after a fantastic victory for us through Edinburgh once again. We seem to keep our best football through there. But I will come to you again, Carney, just for a bit of torture for your throat. Maybe I'll break it in, actually. The boys did a good pod after it, just kind of giving us the reaction to it. Rangers played very well on Wednesday, I thought, mate. I thought you can see the intensity of their game, moving, breaking the lines, fast, hungry, everything we want for a Rangers team. What was your thoughts on it?
It was everything we know this team can do. We know that we've got decent enough players in order to play that type of football. I thought Rangers were fantastic. I really do. I thought we were great. I thought it was a shaky start. I've seen a lot of people say that the stadium was kind of full of emotion, and it probably was to a certain extent, but obviously, again, they'll put my negative in at the start. We have to go behind before we kick into gear and start doing something. But I think that's maybe a coincidence more than anything else that happened on Wednesday night, because everything else after that was brilliant. To a man, Rangers were superb. Alan McGregor didn't do anything that entire night. I think he only picked the ball out the net. He didn't do anything else. Rangers were great. so delighted to see it. And it's we said it at the Hearts game, but it's true. It's the benchmark. It's what we should be aiming for on a more consistent basis. And I think the consistency bit is the bit that needs worked on. We know these players have it in them. We really do. But I was mightily impressed by a number of players. Ryan Jack, Cantwell, Raskin. A fantastic midfield to watch, really is brilliant in the front three. I'd say I was slating Fashion Sakala in the first 20 minutes, and then after that I'm going, the guy's got a shout to be man of the match. So no, in terms of what we've seen, it was very, very enjoyable, certainly made me feel a bit better, that's for sure, and more of that please, Mr. Rangers.
Yes, it's medicine that we all could do with as Rangers playing like that for a wee run, that's for sure. Scotia kind of alluded to the midfield there and how that kind of changed things, and he's absolutely spot on. Cantwell, Raskin and Jack all turned up on Wednesday night and were absolutely brilliant, the three of them. Do you think that midfield just added a total needed freshness to the Rangers team on Wednesday?
He's on mute.
First blooper of the night, Scotia, I'll take that one. He had, do you know, he's man of match as well on Wednesday. Was it Wednesday or Tuesday? He's man of match on Tuesday. He's straight back down the pecking order. I'll just move on to Ali. No, I'm only joking, Scotia. What did you think of the midfield, mate?
It was the word I was looking for there was the vibrancy in the midfield. And that's what you got. You got the energy from Jack, and you can see Raskin and Cantwell doing what they look like they're going to be doing. And Cantwell's now given us a big problem in a few areas in terms of, do we do this, do we do that? I was thoroughly impressed with them all. I mean, we said this again. I know you didn't see the first half of the Kelly game, but I thought the three of them were really good in that first half against Kelly. This time it was almost up until they all get subbed. It was cracking from all three of them. And I thought Ryan Jack had an absolute masterclass in the middle of the park, which he likes to do every now and again at this time of the year. Yeah,
it was really good. I think Ryan Jack, I've mentioned a few times, and I've probably said it in the chat as well. And I think the commentator, was it that Tom guy that was the commentator on the telly I watched abroad the other night there? I think it was. And it was, he mentioned how, and I'm taking this, I think he's still off this podcast. Ryan Jack, for me, boys, is the best midfielder that we have to cover James Tavernier on the right. He does it so well. He's done it so well for years, and you can tell Tavernier gets caught out a lot when Jack isn't there, and he just seems to read Tavernier's game really well. Ali, the midfield for me was the big change. I think we probably all thought to ourselves after the game, that's why you should have picked that midfield in the cup final, Bill. That's where you got it wrong. It's clear as a nose in your face. What did you think of the midfield? Do you think that's where the key change was?
Yeah, that's why I've worn the fourth top, break the lines. Because we finally are breaking the lines. It's refreshing to see it. The movement, it's a movement off the ball as well. When they pass, they move. They don't just stand still and have to say, I've done my job. It's the three of them, Jack, I was speaking to Stuart Marks, Jack, Cantwell and Raskin, they look like they've played together for months. And it's not as if it doesn't look like a new midfield. They've got an understanding, and I said it in the post-match, we've got to play this midfield going forward. That's the midfield for me going forward. Yes, Tillman will come in. He might push Cantwell out, Sakala will drop out for certain games, but that's the midfield for me. We've got to go with that going forward, and it just shows you, maybe if we brought these boys in a week, 2 weeks earlier before that cup final, they would have played in the cup final potentially, but it just shows you what we were missing in that cup final, because there was fully energy. The cup final, for me, we lacked energy. We looked lethargic. You look at the midfield now, there's an energy about it, a buzz about it, and I thought they were fantastic. I thought they were all fantastic on Wednesday. Apart from Alan McGregor, who had nothing to do, flapped at something near the end. But that was the only thing McGregor had to do. But no, it was a joy to watch on Wednesday, Ryan, and how many times have we said that this season?
I think you probably count it in two fingers, mate, to be honest with you. Let's hope it's three come probably this time on Sunday. Carney, you mentioned the enigma, the man that we seem to speak about every second week, and he is unbelievable but he's worth talking about. He is, because he gives us Rangers fans a good headache, if I'm honest. Fashion Sakala. I don't really know how to. You're not running out of superlatives. You're just running out of. I don't know. He's just a footballer I've never seen before. He was great again on Wednesday. So the chances are he'll fall off the face of the earth on Sunday. However, his numbers, mate, are better than Kent's, I believe, now. What do we do with Fashion Sakala, mate? You tell me exactly what we do with him.
It's a difficult one, mate, because I think after a few disappointing performances that we've seen, I'm on record with the lads after it going, he's not good enough to be here. We need to stop persevering, and the hot and cold performances isn't going to be enough. But then he'll put in performances like Wednesday night, and I just thought he took a bit of time. He did. He made a few Sakala moments, and then he turned into. He just started playing like a will beater. I'm shocked Hibs gave him as much space as they did. I think that really helped him because Hibs were constantly leaving him. Whether they couldn't track him, whether they didn't have the legs to track him, I don't know. But I thought he was terrific, and I thought he was in for a shout for man of the match. I don't think there's really any doubt. I think a number of players were. I think with the way that he's took that goal that he scored, it's a fantastic finish. It really is. To have the head turned on, the ball comes to him from Jack's header, he just drops his shoulder, completely turns the defender, sends him the wrong way, and he doesn't just like, he knows where he's putting it, he knows exactly what he's about to do, and he buries it. It's a terrific goal, and I think you can see he's well liked around the club. I don't think he's ever going to change. I'm not going to lie. I mean, we were talking about it. I think me and Ali were speaking about it, that he's 26 now. He's not young. You can't class him as raw. We have to move past the stage of Sakala as raw. He's not raw. This is exactly the player that he's going to be. Do I think we can get better for the money we spent on him? I doubt it. I think we would need to invest quite seriously in that position in order to get somebody that will do what he can do when he's on form. But he's a difficult one. It's hard. I don't dislike the guy. I don't at all. You couldn't. He's very infectious. You can see that, and you can see that he's well liked within the club. But it's a hard one to decide what to do with him going forward. I don't think he's going anywhere. I think Beale sees a future for him here, and if he continues to put in performances like Wednesday night, then you can't. I'll take 4 or 5 Sakala moments if I'm going to get goals like that. I'm going to get performances, and 2 assists and a goal from Fashion Sakala on Wednesday night. I mean, it's terrific, and especially his second assist for Cholak's second goal. It's brilliant because he just doesn't give up. There's about 20 Hibs players in that box, and we were still going to score no matter what. It was really, really pleasing to see, and I think he might be a confidence player as well. I think he might need the rest of the team to be playing well in order for him to play really well, because Ryan, me and you sat on the gantry that night and we watched Fashion Sakala in that cup game, and I was going, what is this? Who is this guy? What's happened here? Why is he playing for us? But in terms of Wednesday night, mate, just he has to, and it's the whole thing. It's probably going to be my word of the podcast, mate, is consistency. He needs to do it consistently, and the whole team need to consistently perform like that. We perform like that against any team in this league, I see he's winning the league. Not at a canter, but I think it would be much more competitive than what it looks like on paper right now. So no, Sakala, I don't think he'll go anywhere, put it that way. I don't think he'll go anywhere, but you have to give him credit for a fantastic performance on Wednesday.
Yeah, he was fantastic, and he does deserve the credit. I think he makes some really good points here, and I don't know why this guy came into my head, but the only player I can think that I've seen in my time, I've seen someone mention Ted McMinn. He's an African Ted McMinn, which is a good shout of what I heard about Ted McMinn. I was actually as his testimonial down at Derby years ago, but that was just for a piss up more than anything else. But the only player that I can think in my lifetime is Gabriel Amato. Gabriel Amato was very rogue and would frustrate the life out of you, but then would come up with a moment of absolute brilliance, and Sakala is very much like that. Carly makes good points there about his numbers. We criticise, I think we've all criticised Ryan Kent for his poor numbers, assists, goals. It doesn't matter really how Sakala plays. If his numbers continue like this, you surely just have to stick with him.
He's the best option for this season at the moment. you're saying Amato, I'd put him to like a natural Novo type.
Yeah.
Nah, I mean, Novo scored big goals for Rangers against Celtic and scored them in cup finals. Famous one to take us through to Manchester. So he's similar to Novo, because Novo went through frustrating spells at one point, but somehow looked brilliant at other points. So that's what Sakala is. I don't think he's going to be this complete player that we're looking for. I think we'll get games like we did on Wednesday night and games like you were talking about against Queen and the. I think these will come with Sakala, but he's the best option. The right hand side's been an issue for us for years now, probably since Candace at a point. We've tried team players out there. He's the guy with the shirt, and he's contributing to the team now, Ryan. It's not as if he's just out there playing well. He's contributing, assists, goals, scored against Celtic as well. So he's becoming a big player for us this season. Going forward next season, I still think we need somebody for that side. I think he's a great squad option for next season. We've got guys like Scott Wright. Again, we've tried him, but he really doesn't do much when he started. He's a great impact player. Matondo, if I dare say it, was brought in for that side. We've not really seen him under Beale. I know he's back now. We may see him on Sunday. So it's Sakala's shirt to lose. The only way I can see him coming out of the team is when we play teams that maybe sit in, and he'll play a Cantwell or a Tillman out there, and he'll take Sakala off because there's not much space. Thanks very much, Ray C, as well. That's greatly appreciated. But I love him, Ryan. I mean, you know I love him. A Saturday night, I phone you up with the Shakira Waka Waka just to keep you happy. So, yeah, great numbers for Sakala. I can't criticise the guy. You know what he is. That's what he is. We all know what he is. But he's contributing, and that's the major thing for the team.
Yeah, I totally agree. I just don't think you need to just stick with him because his numbers are. Someone made the point there, and apologies, I've missed your comment, but it's a great shout to say that he possibly is more consistent than Ryan Kent, because Ryan Kent has such a poor season where Sakala has. This sounds really bad here. My mum will give me into trouble if she's watching this, but he's been consistently inconsistent. If you mean you know what you're going to get with him, you know if he plays well one game and scores, he probably chances are he's not going to do it the next game. But you know you'll get goals and assists over maybe the course of 5 games. So, yeah, you've got to stick with him, I think. Just finally touching on him, Scotia. I think it was Carney had mentioned it. And yes, sorry, I forgot to say, Ray C, thank you so much for that contribution, mate. It's amazing. Really, really appreciate it. Scotia, the finish from Sakala is extremely cute. I think if it was Morelos or Cholak, we'd be talking about it a lot more. It is very intelligent, clever, no?
Oh no, it is, and I've seen this on Twitter, so I'm stealing this. Whoever I've seen it on Twitter is Sakala the best shite footballer you've ever seen, or the worst world beater you've ever seen? He's somewhere in the middle there. Like the way he plays, sometimes he's absolutely incredible, sometimes he's absolutely frustrating, and like you're shouting at him, going, "What are you doing?" He's immense, and his numbers, like you were mentioning about there, last season I think he got 7 goals, 2 assists. Guess who he scored against first, Alistair?
What are you on about here?
Who did Sakala score against first?
Lorraine's super sticker there, sorry.
Thanks,
Oh,
Lorraine.
right, I'm sorry.
Thank you very
Cheers,
much.
Lorraine. Oh, thank you, Lorraine. Sorry, I didn't see that again.
Amazing.
Sorry, what were you saying there again, Scotia?
Sakala's first goal. Who do you think he scored against?
What was the first goal? Oh, you're putting it to me now. Aberdeen, I couldn't guess.
No, his team, Motherwell. He scored against Motherwell when he first came in. Anyway, I beat 7 goals last season, 2 assists. This season, I think he's now on 6 goals, 8 assists. See the stuff that he's doing, mate. Like he's playing as that kind of second striker to kind of what we wanted to see. What I would like to see Cholak and Morelos do, but clearly that's not an option. We'll probably come on to further reasons why that's not an option. But he's doing it really, really well. And yes, is he raw? I know what Carney was saying, that he's older now, he's 26, but I still think he's raw. I think he just gets the ball and gets a wee bit excited. Here we go.
Yeah, I love that. I agree. I don't think you're going to get anything more than that with him. I don't think he's coachable. If if that's not too harsh a criticism, I think Sakala's probably like, this is a criticism of my son. My son Toby, you can say whatever you like to him, but he just runs on the pitch and does what he likes. And that is pretty much what Sakala's like, I think, Scotia. He's just kind of...
Yeah, I mean,
Sakala
had pretty good numbers. Was it Ostend that he was out with in Belgium?
Yeah,
Belgium.
it was, yeah.
Sorry, not Belgium. Yeah, so out in Ostend, I think he had pretty decent numbers there as well. And that was what he would have been between the ages, 22, 24. So, no, take what you can kind of get, because you want that wee bit of chaos, I think.
I agree, and him and Cholak for me to the end of the season, that's what I would play, but that's just my opinion. Moving on from Wednesday night's game, which was great, and we could talk about it a lot longer because there was a lot more. There's some great performances in there, not just by the midfielders, but I want to talk about a few transfer rumours that did break on social media today. In my opinion, probably both of them are nonsense, but they're worth talking about because we are looking at recruiting quite a few players in the summer, so we're going to get linked with everyone coming up. So firstly, the first player I want to talk about was Scott McTominay. I think it was Scotia broke it on the chat today. A strange one for me. I don't highly rate Scott McTominay, probably do a job up here, but I think the link came from Paul Parker, who used to play with Man United. I think the link was, he got asked about McTominay going to Scotland, would he maybe go to Celtic? And he said, not good enough for Celtic, but he'd maybe get a game with Rangers. Okay, Paul. And I just want to run past you guys. If it was a possibility, I'll come to you first, Carney. Scott McTominay, do you rate him, and is that the kind of player we want to see next to Raskin?
No, not for me. I don't get it. It's one of them ones that I'm like, I don't really understand why that would be who we would target. I think there is far too, not baggage. Baggage is the wrong word, but there's too. He would be a high earner in order to come to us from where he's playing, for what he's getting from Man United. For him to come here, he would be going to the top bracket of players for us, and I don't believe he's a top bracket of a player. Maybe that's because I'm kind of blinded by the fact of how good Ryan Jack was on Wednesday night, and I think Ryan Jack's the future of Rangers all of a sudden again. But I don't believe that he's what we should be targeting. I think there's an easy link there, I think, to be made. As I say, he's obviously a Scottish player, so it's like, does the quota that Scotia goes on about all the time. But I don't...
He's not Scottish, though.
He plays for Scotland, does he not?
But he won't be trained in their leagues. It's like, how's Arfield Canadian? No, how's Arfield Canadian? It's kind of one of those ones. It's trained in...
Oh, right. Oh, there you go. I didn't even know that. There you go. It shows you how much I pay attention. I did not know that. Well, fair enough then. So, well, even more so then, I don't understand it. I don't think we could get better, but I think we could get someone like Raskin in terms of there's potential there. Somebody that's raw, hungry, wanting it more than McTominay. So for me, mate, no, I think it's a bit of a clickbait rumour for me.
I would fully agree with that. That's what I thought as soon as it got put on the chat this morning. I thought clickbait for a number of reasons. I don't see Rangers being interested in a player like that for a number of reasons, like the salary, etc. But I also see McTominay kind of be more of those players that will float about your West Broms, your Norwiches, teams like that before he would even consider coming to Scotland. Just quickly on that one before I move on to the next transfer rumour that was in today, Scotia McTominay, obviously you're a big Scotland fan, and he is a plastic Scotsman. So is he a good player, and would you take him at Ibrox?
No, well, it's funny you mention this because I was speaking to Ali and the Viceroy. Carney, you might have left at this point, but I was speaking to him. I was looking at and seeing McTominay not getting a game for Man U, and I was like, would you take him? I think there was nothing in this. I just said, would you take him? Ali was like, could we afford him? Basically. But then I look like Scotland are playing at the end of the month against Cyprus. The midfield that I would want is Jack, McGregor, and McGinn. That'd be my midfield. McTominay.
I'm not here to talk about Scotland, Scotia. Don't be trying to hijack this Rangers podcast.
This isn't a Scotland podcast. Come on, kick him off.
Get him out, Sean.
you're asking about then McTominay would be the replacement for Jack if Gilmore's not there. So that's where he is. I think I know his grandpa stays up in Helensburgh, so maybe go around and have a cup of coffee with him tomorrow morning. But nah, I'd prefer to see Ryan Jack get a contract extension and or fit Ryan Jack stay and play with us.
Agreed. Ali, I think I know your answer to this one, mate. It is clickbait. I totally agree with Carney. Scott McTominay, would you take him if it was a realistic target?
Being Scotia, like he says, we had a wee brief discussion last week about it. I don't know where Scotia was going there. I thought he was going to go into the full Scotland team there for a minute. Just let myself in. But no,
I was hanging over the eject button because I thought exactly the same. I thought if he starts Scotland here, he's gone.
Well, you're going to love the end of March then, boys.
Yeah, he should be ejected for shaving that beard, honestly. Criminal. Anyway, that's another story. But McTominay, no, he's been linked with, I think it was West Ham the other week I seen for 25 million. The wages he's on, no chance. He's at a good age down there as well. I agree with you, Ryan. I can see him floating about these clubs down in England for the rest of his career. He looks one of the players. So, nah, it's a no for me.
Good. And Stephen Gillespie, I'll take that any day, mate, any day. I think he would slot right in with us. The next one I wanted to speak about, boys, which may be a bit more truth than that one, was the rumour that Alfredo Morelos is potentially signing a pre-contract with Sevilla. Now, it's ironic because I was at the Sevilla game on Saturday night and I was actually thinking to myself, would Alfie fit in that team? Because I remember he was linked to him before. Carl, I'll come back to you. Morelos, for me, he's definitely going. I think there's no doubt about it. I don't get the impression he's gave the club any indication he is going to stay. I think Alfie has looked to leave if the right club came along, the right suitor came along in the past few windows. Sevilla, Alfredo Morelos, would that be a good match?
Yeah, firstly, I agree. I think Morelos' time is coming to an end. It's looking more and more likely. I know obviously we're reading between the lines here, but I think you can even tell by some of Bill's comments that Morelos understands why Cholak's playing in front of him. Stuff I know we'll come on to the presser, but you can understand why that's happening. And I think there's a sense of inevitability around him moving on. Less so maybe about Ryan Kent. Again, that's probably a conversation about maybe because Ryan Kent's playing again, you're quite easily blinded by what you're seeing in front of you. But I don't think Morelos has been anywhere near the Alfredo Morelos this season that we've been used to seeing. Even under Gio or under Bill, I just don't think he's quite there, which does make you think that he thinks maybe that his time's coming to an end. And it's possible. I think it's probably right for him to go. If Sevilla are looking to sign him in a pre-contract, I think that's a fantastic move for Alfredo Morelos. I think if it's true, then I think he'll be very, very lucky to get a move like that, and that's just based on his price has dropped. His price has dropped from what we got used to seeing Alfredo Morelos being at the kind of levels that he was at. I say we were touting him for 15, 20 million and the likes. At times, I don't think he's quite near that just now. But I think a pre-contract move for him to Sevilla I think it's a great move for Alfredo. I really do. I think it's brilliant for him. I think he would do quite well in the Spanish league. And yeah, I would be a wee bit of a raised eyebrow, I think, if that did come to fruition, because I wouldn't expect him to go to quite to that level. And I'm not saying they're like the champions of Spain or anything. I don't mean it like that, but I thought he would be a kind of lower European sides, if that makes sense. Whereas they've got a kind of European pedigree in that behind them, and yeah, I think it would be a real good move for him. But I agree. I think it's looking likely that Alfredo will be away at the end of the season one way or another. But yeah, like I sat and said this about Connor Goldson as well, that I thought he was going and he's probably already signed a contract, etc., and he ended up staying. But with Alfie, it feels different. It feels a little bit different because I just don't think he's not got the same he's not got the same desire for it just now. I don't think he doesn't look like he knows what I know. I know he'll be one of these players that once he leaves, all he'll talk about is how good it was to play for a club like Rangers and the games that he had, the European runs he has. I expect Alfredo to say all that. I expect him to say nothing but good things about the club because the club have been nothing but good to him. But I think for both parties now, at this stage with Morelos, I think it's best that we thank you very much, Alfredo. It's time for us to move on to the next chapter. And I'll miss the guy. Of course I'll miss the guy. I love the guy. The guy's that celebration will be forever one of my favourites. It really will. And not just because Ali does it to me every time they score, but every time he scores. But I think he's been a massive part of us for so long. But yeah, I think the time's coming to an end.
Carney, see that goal that he scored down when we were watching the game in Berlin? That was unbelievable as well. I know it was
there was.
Weeks, but it was brilliant.
Is that when the keeper made a Barry Hunt of it, wasn't it? Yeah.
It was at Fox.
Right,
Fox.
I remember that.
I think there's fans like me who are just a bit aggrieved with Alfredo Morelos. I've got a wee bit of chip in my shoulder with Morelos at the moment because he's never really got going this season, and for me it's been down to him and his fitness and his attitude. But I think time will reflect well on Alfredo Morelos when he does leave, and I'm sure we'll do some sort of pod or speak about when he does leave. But just quickly, Scotia, if he does go to Seville, that's a great move from his kind of punching there, like Peter Crouch is punching with Abby Clancy's, you know.
Oh, let's not get into that chat. No. Sevilla's a good move. I don't watch an awful lot of English football, but I was looking, could he not do a job down at Newcastle? I think Newcastle need a striker, and I think Alfie's the kind of not too far away. Not too far away from Glasgow, because I think he enjoys Glasgow. I think he's he's settled here and rips the arse out of it on too many occasions, to be honest. But interesting, I go see since the transfer window closed, I've went through weeks where it's oh no, Kent's going this week, Alfie's going this week, they're staying, going I'm flipping all the time, so I don't really know what will happen. Yes, it's a wee bit similar to Goldson. I don't think it's as critical as Goldson going last year than it is, because I think we've got options and identified places to kind of improve. Whereas when Goldson wasn't signing it, it was oh, what are we doing here, Suter? But we've no signed them. So we'll see what happens. I've loved him since the game. What Jonathan Johansson got him from HJK Helsinki for £1 million. I mean, he's paid the money. I would say he's paid more money for his transfer fee than Ryan Kent has for his. And now Ryan Kent's was a big expensive transfer fee, and I think for Ryan Kent an awful lot gets missed in the wash kind of thing of what he actually does for the team. So there'll be both massive losses, but replaceable losses. I don't think it's one of these ones that will fall apart.
Yeah, I think so as well. I think in terms of that transfer fee, Ali, £1 million we got from Morelos. Yes, we could have cashed in a couple of years ago and made a significant more amount than that. However, Alfredo Morelos has paid that back with. I would give him £1 million for his celebration at Celtic Park that day, to be honest with you, mate.
Yeah, he's more than paid back that £1 million. Rangers top goal scorer in Europe ever. They beat McCoist, did they not?
They beat McCoist.
So, he's fallen away this season, Morelos. He's frustrated the hell out of me. I love Morelos as well, but he frustrates the hell out of me at times too. Yeah, I don't think he really gives a monkey's at times what he does. Sevilla, if he goes there, I think he's one to watch with that. The Europa League kings there. I think they've won the Europa League most times than any other club since that tournament's been about. Morelos thrives in that competition, so maybe there you go. Maybe they're made for the two of them. So I wish him well, but he's not signing a new contract. The Goldson one, we all thought he was going, but this I'm more certain he's going. He's not. I don't think Rangers are offering him a contract, and I wouldn't either. I've said it umpteen times this podcast.
Because Alfie, he must be on about 38 grand then if he's getting offered a new contract. Yeah, because much.
I don't think it's that. I don't think it'd be that high, but I reckon he's 30. I would say 32,000, 33,000.
I would imagine that. Because Matondo's seemingly on 30 grand a week, isn't he?
If he better not be, man. I swear that. You better not.
You'll love that.
Remember, we've got a
just about-
Manscaped promo we're reading out, lads.
Oh,
Ali,
aye.
you just ruined it. I was just going to set it up there. But now that you've mentioned it, Alistair, thank you so much, because that is a time for a word from our sponsors, Manscaped. Spring has sprung, and our friends at Manscaped, the leaders in below-the-waist grooming, have the best tools for some spring cleaning. Look your best this spring and join the other 8 million men who have trusted Manscaped. Use the code CLUB@22 to get 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com. Manscaped are here to change the way all you fellas can take care of yourselves and groom with the Performance Package 4.0. Inside this ball care bundle, you'll find Lawnmower 4.0, the Weed Whacker, ear and nose hair trimmer, Crop Preserver, Ball Deodorant, Crop Reviver Toner. Additionally, if you purchase now, you'll receive 2 free gifts, the Performance Boxer Briefs and the Shed Travel Bag. Always use the right tools for the job and head to their website and check out all their tools to help you upgrade your hygiene routine. Save 20% off and free shipping with the code CLUB@22 at manscaped.com. That's 20% off and free shipping with the code CLUB@22 at manscaped.com. What will your balls do, boys?
Your
well, thank you.
balls. Well, thank you.
As enthusiastic as ever, lads. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate it.
Mate, I'm trying. My voice is holding on by a thread here. Literally on a boyer. It's holding on by a boyer.
Oh, you could have slept
That'll
that.
that'll trim with my Manscaped groomer once I finish the podcast.
And if you were wondering if it only does below the waist, Scotia is your perfect example. He used his ball trimmer on his face. So whether that's hygienic or not, I don't know.
It's just, you forget that you can take it in the shower, that wee ball trimmer. So
There you go.
You keep your OnlyFans out of this, Scotia. That's
Yeah,
what you
Scotia,
police.
this is not a place to plug your OnlyFans.
well, to be fair, I did use a different shaver, everyone.
Scotia's crossed over his Scotland podcast with his OnlyFans and CLUB@22, but that is an exclusive for everyone. You can use it in the shower, guys. So get on that code. Get on that code. Right, let's go back
That'll
to
be light as well.
that nonsense. Right, I'm pulling it in here. Pulling that. Let's get on to the press conference. Michael Beale did a press conference. Obviously, Rangers are playing in the Scottish Cup quarter-final against Raith Rovers on Sunday, 1 o'clock kickoff. So Michael Beale did his press conference as always, and the player was Raskin. He did say that he would be fielding his strongest team possible, which I was quite shocked and pleased at. He said that Vidvan Yilmaz, the Turkish delight and the future left back of this club, would be available for selection, as would Leon King and John Suter would all be in the squad as well, which is really pleasing. He said there's a standard to be set, and he did say that he wants to get to Hampden again. If you're watching, Michael, no, we don't. We want to win it. He said that every game they're building their fitness and style, and if there's a shot that he was talking about Alfredo Morelos, whether he was upset or not about being left out, he said of course he is, but sounds like Cholak will be playing because it's his shot to lose, and spoke about Ryan Kent after the international break. During the international break, he'll probably try and sit down with him, and I'd imagine try and persuade him to sign a new contract. Not really any much talk about Alfredo Morelos and that side of things. There was another few things I wanted to talk about, but I'll nip on to Raskins as well. Raskin, for me, boys, spoke very well. Really like him. I've got kind of love heart eyes for this boy at the moment. He's everything I like seeing in a Rangers shirt. He says he likes to play as an 8 or a 6. Thought the team played really well. Didn't panic when they went down 1-0. Spoke about Todd Cantwell, how he has helped him settle in. The both of them coming in at the same time, struck up a friendship and an understanding on and off the pitch. And he understands that Rangers need to win everything. It is a kind of press answer, a press-trained answer, but it is important for us to hear as fans that they do understand that we should be winning everything that we go in for. He said he's loving Scotland and had a wee joke about the sun coming out. So they were good press conferences. I quite enjoyed the two of them, but you can get them on the Rangers YouTube channel. The one thing I did want to kind of touch on, guys, was they said that Kmart Roof is out for the season. I hope everyone was sitting down. There was no disclosure there. I should have told everyone, make sure you're sitting down before I deliver last news. Kmart Roof, guys, is out for the season. We won't touch on this too much, but I do want to get your opinion from all of you. So, Ali, I'll come to you if you can get that grin off your face. Kmart Roof is out for the season, Ali. What are we doing with him if we can? What are we doing with him in the summer?
Should I get rid of him? We're not going to get rid of him, though. Honestly. See, when I seen it was his hip, I was like, oh, come on. And I put in the group chat, Ryan, and he had the cheek to say this as well. And this isn't this. I know this is tongue in cheek with this guy's livelihood and everything in his body, but he said he had never had time to fit in the operation. I was like, as if he's playing football consistently his career. I was like, is he actually having a laugh at that comment?
He's down to that restaurant, isn't he?
He's down the Barton again, PRing for that place, Scotia. But it's unbelievable. I think Scotia put in the group chat, can you think of a player that was as injury prone as this we've had at Rangers in a long time that's been there? Jordan Ross at our eye, but he never played though. But Kemar Roof, the guy's made of glass, man. It's unbelievable. For a shoulder, he was nearly ready to come back to the cup game, and now his hip's gone. Unbelievable. I don't know what else to say about Kemar Roof, but we need to try and cut ties with him. And he's saying on his Instagram he's going to come back bigger and better once he's had this. I'd love to see it come out, but there's no chance. He's just going to be this through his career. But I've got nothing else to say about it, Ryan, because we have a laugh and a joke about Kemar Roof. And it isn't a joke because we're paying good money for him and we took the gamble on him. He has been decent. He's scored big goals for Rangers, but it's beyond a bit of a joke now. It is a joke now because we all have a joke about it. All the Rangers fans do, but we need to cut ties with him in the summer. I'm sorry. We need to, but he's holding the ace card, Ryan. So he can sit tight if he wants because who's going to touch him?
Yep, Scotia. Ali makes a great point there. He is holding the cards. I would put a lot of money on that Kmart Roof is on over 20 grand. I would be pretty sure of that one. How do we negotiate a contract? How do we negotiate a deal to cut ties with him?
Well, Roof's quite right in his contract situation to go, well, no, just pay him up until the end of it. Can we afford to do that? I don't know how that works across the balance of the books for like a financial year, obviously, because what we're April to March to April kind of thing. Does that split across it? Does that help us? Probably not. But we signed Kemar. I mean, I remember signing Kemar Roof on the thing of being he's a wee bit injury prone, and we'll get him cheap. Now, unfortunately, he's came to us, and we've spoke about this before. It's our medical department seems to be getting worse and worse because I think he only had like 2 injuries when he was over at Leeds and when he was over at Anderlecht. For us, he's been out for so many different things, and I don't think he's had like a run of 10, 12 games, unless we're playing like Sunday, Thursday kind of stuff, like back before we got the Champions League. So frustrating because he's without a doubt the best striker in Scotland, I would say.
Yeah, I think he's fantastic.
I would say the exact same thing about, well, not the exact same thing, but like Philip Helander. I think he's one of the best defenders currently in the country, but completely injured. So, yeah, how do we get rid of him? We don't. We hold on to him for another season, and then he'll go, and then he'll probably go back down south, score a barrel load of goals, and go like, oh, there's what we could have had. That big the bullseye thing.
I know. Yeah, no, I totally agree. Carney, Kmart Roof, I think the positive to take out of this is after his Instagram post, I was quite shocked because it was black and white. I thought the worst had happened, but he is still alive, mate. He's had a hip operation, and he's back next season, mate.
Yeah, honestly, massive sigh. Pause for effect. All of that. No one's going to buy him. That's the thing. No one's going to buy him. But this is again one of the problems that Rangers have had. I think it is a bigger picture thing. Is it's if we get him and we keep him fit, we'll get a tune out of him, kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? And we do that far too often. I've said a million times, if Kamar Roof was fully fit, he wouldn't be playing in Scotland. He just wouldn't be playing in Scotland because he is a fantastic football player. He is. He's a great striker. He really is. But this, I don't know how much we put up with it. I understand people saying sell him in summer. It's not going to be as easy as that. I also think the pay him off thing, is there really anything in that for us as a team, or is it just, will it make the fans feel better? Because say he does, I don't mean stay fit, but if he stays fitter a lot longer than he has this season, then I do believe he would contribute to the team. The guy's got goals in him, and it could be important goals that he scores, because you know what he's like when he comes back. We've said it before, when he comes back, he doesn't need that time to get himself up to speed. He seems to just kind of hit the ground running because of how intelligent he is as a football player. He knows where to be, he knows where to gamble, and it works for him more times than not. So it's a real difficult one. Was I shocked when I seen it? No, I just kind of laughed and thought, well, of course he's out for the season with an injury that we didn't know existed in him. But I do think the club, I mean, if the club can agree, I don't know, you pay up half his contract or pay up 3 months of his contract, and whether Roof would be open to accepting that, I don't know. It's really up to him. There's going to be no rhyme or reason for Kamar Roof to do that. He's entitled to stay and see out his contract and see what the options for him are after that. But yeah, it's a real difficult one now, because he could contribute, he could, but I don't believe that Kamar Roof is ever going to have a fully fit season at Rangers. And I agree with Scotia. When he leaves Rangers, he'll probably go somewhere and score about 30 goals in a season and stay fit for about 9 months. And that's just the way the world works, unfortunately. But yeah, I'm not going to lie. I'm gutted. I'm gutted that he's injured and he's out again for the season, because he is a good football player. There's no doubt about it. I genuinely believe he's a fantastic striker. I do, but we can't just keep putting up with this as well, because it frustrates the fans more than anything else. I think he is on a good wage. His wage is going out. You said over 20. I think you'll be talking close to 30. I think for Kamar Roof, you're probably talking about £1 million in order to release him. So if you're paying up his full contract, so it's a lot of money for Rangers to output. And would it be worthwhile us keeping him for another year? What's the worst that can happen? We'll just need to wait and see. But I mean, it's a hard thing to see all the time that Kamar Roof's back for 2 games and then he's out for a season.
Yeah, I think the frustrations, it adds to the frustration because he is such a good player, and we all know that. Obviously, we do wish him, joking aside, we do wish him well if he does leave Rangers or whatever, but because he's a great player and he's gave us a lot of big goals. The thing that sticks with me, I think I was with you, Carney. I don't know why, but it was before the Leipzig game. Was it you or Jamie Lowe was with? Jamie Lowe, admin assistant at Club at 22. We saw Kamar Roof. Remember, we had no striker at Leipzig at home, and Kamar Roof was coming into the stadium at the car park, and somebody asked him, "Are you fit tonight?" Because we were desperate for a striker, and he said, "I won't be, but I'll play in the cup final next week."
Yeah,
and I think the next time he played was like November.
yeah, exactly.
That for me just sums Kamar Roof up. He just he obviously really struggles with his fitness, but yeah, we wish him well, and we'll see how that one plays out in the summer. I'd like to see him leave, unfortunately. Right, we will move on to the Raith Rovers game, which is on Sunday at 1 o'clock. Is it on television, guys?
Yeah,
it will be. Yeah,
Viaplay.
Viaplay, thank you. It's on Viaplay, guys. So I should have done my research on that one, but it's a 1 o'clock kickoff, which is a bit better than your 4 o'clock normal 4 o'clock kickoff. So we play Raith Rovers in the quarter final at Ibrox. Raith Rovers, who beat Motherwell 3-1 in the last round, which is quite an impressive result for them, considering they are 7th in the Scottish Championship. However, Motherwell were going through a bit of a black spell at the time. I think they've changed their manager since then. Their manager, Raith Rovers manager, is Ian Murray at the moment, who obviously used to play for Rangers. I didn't mind Ian Murray, actually, guys. He was half decent. Yeah, 50, 60 games or something.
Advocat brought him in, didn't he?
Yeah, Advocat brought him in from him. So, yeah, I think he's a half decent player. And, yeah, so he brings his team to Ibrox on Sunday. I am expecting a show from Rangers boys. I think I'm sticking with the positivity. I think we played well on Wednesday. I think if he sticks with the same team, which I think he should do, and I think he should do it for the rest of the season because that team works. I'm expecting a show from Rangers, so I'm hoping for big things. Ali, I'll come to you first. Raith Rovers at home, it's very much the same kind of feeling as Partick Thistle coming, and that didn't play out the way we wanted to. So what are you expecting on Sunday, mate? And if you want to give me a team and score when you're done.
Same as you. I'm expecting a show, but I fully expect Raith Rovers. I don't think Raith Rovers will come. Partick Thistle, to their due, came and gave us a game. They actually took it to us. I think we walked out that day thinking we just need to turn up and we'll beat Partick Thistle. Rangers will not take this game like this because of that experience. I think Raith Rovers will sit in like a lot of teams do when they come to Rangers. So they'll try and frustrate us, and they've got the right to do that because if they open up, we will take them apart. But no, I'm expecting a show as well, Ryan. I want goals. That's what I want. I want what I got on Wednesday night. I don't want us to go 3-up in the first half like we did against Kilmartin and not come out in the second half. I want a 90-minute performance for Rangers. I fully expect him. I hope he plays the same team. And then if we are 3-4 up, then he can make changes to bring boys like Suter, Yilmaz, Matondo, dare I say, to get minutes into their legs. That's probably what he's thinking. So my team for Sunday is the same team that played against Hibs on Wednesday. After that, they've got a full week to prepare for Motherwell away on the Saturday. So there's no reason for boys to be rested for me. They need minutes in the legs. Cantwell, thanks to trying Scotsman there, Cantwell and Raskin. So, yeah, for me, it's this exact same team, and I'm going 5-0 Rangers, and the first goal scorer will be Ryan Kent. He's due to score a goal.
Alistair Pearson, the positivity bar has been set. Now the pressure is on. Scotia, I'm going to come to you. The pressure is on you. Can you beat that? 5-0 to Rangers. What are you expecting on Sunday? I think Ali does make a good point about Partick. They set up well for me at Ibrox. I think Ian McCall didn't get enough credit for how they played tactically at Ibrox. What are we going to see on Sunday?
Ian McCall gets sacked the day after we get beat, did he not? So good luck, Ian Murray. Then
I think it was that night, mate. Actually,
it was the same night. Yeah, it was the same night.
Yeah. So I always liked Ian McCall. And Ian Murray. No, I said to you when we get drawn against Raith Rovers, my cousins. It's one of my cousins at Sports Raith Rovers. It's his birthday today, so happy birthday, Kenny. He will not be watching this, but I know him and his brother.
This isn't a GBX either, Scotia.
Oh, apologies. Him, his brother, and my auntie, their mum, are going along to the game to support Raith Rovers. So they'll be in that end. So if anyone likes to throw stuff at people, and you're in that
Scotia
area,
don't
do it.
That Scotia, come on,
Scotia.
Oh no, it's fine. No,
that's a yellow card.
Yes.
No, so they're going about it, and I was chatting away to them. Like for me, Raith Rovers, I've got in my head when we get beat off them in 2014 in the Challenge Cup. I think that lives in my head. That'll be rent free forever. Like Raith Rovers can always kind of throw that as, but I think we'll be fine. We're so much better than we were then to now. So I'm looking forward to the game. I think it's going to be an impressive game for Rangers. I don't want too many changes. There will be one change when you'll see my starting lineup. You'll get that, but that's the only one wee small change I would make. So I think we can go out and do this quite comfortably, I imagine. So my team will be McGregor, Tav, Goldson. Here's the change. Suter, I bring him in. Borna, Jack, Raskin, Sakala, Cantwell, Kent, and Cholak. So I think give Suter a chance to kind of get up to proper full fitness, with Goldson beside him. Yeah, doing that. And I'm going 5-0 as well, like Ali says, but I'm going to give Ryan Jack the first goal. So another couple of Ryans to score the first goal there, the Ryan.
Nice. I'll take it, boys. There is no pressure on you now, Carney, because that's 2 5-0s. So you can go for it as well, mate, and I'll do the 2-2 each draw at the end, right? What are you expecting on Sunday, mate? I think I'm with the boys. I've got a good feeling about Sunday. I think we played well Wednesday. There's a wee bit of feel-good factor about the team and obviously the midfield as well. What are you expecting on Sunday?
Yeah, I think Bale have learned from his mistake of Partick Thistle and trying to rush too many players back at the one time. I'm not sure if he'll go full same team. I would like him to, but that would be the same starting 11 3 games in a row. When's the last time we seen that? You would need to look back in the history books for that one, because that's certainly a long time ago. So I expect one or two changes within the starting 11, but I expect it to remain pretty much the same. But yeah, Rangers should be comfortably dealing with Raith Rovers. I don't think it's anything we should really be worrying about. I said that about Partick Thistle as well, and I was not a very happy man at half time. So we'll but again, it's crucial for us to get through this, because it's ultimately the one thing that we can definitely still win. I know we can still win the league, but I mean, it's very unlikely that it will happen. So this is definitely an important game. My starting 11, the usual back five as it's been just now: McGregor, Tav, Goldson, Davis, Barisic. I'm going to say Lundstrom, Raskin. I know, Raleigh's rolling his head at me. I do get that, mate, but I think Lundstrom will come in. I think it'll be Raskin and Cantwell, and he's got to play the same front three. The only other one I could maybe see, he might play Scott Wright on the left-hand side for Ryan Kent. He might even play Rabbi Matondo, dare I say it, on the left-hand side for Ryan Kent, because the only reason I'm thinking he might do something like that is if he keeps the core of the team that's playing well just now. If he keeps them, then it gives them every chance to get themselves into the game and get themselves up to speed. But I expect Cholak and Sakala to start. But the left-hand side, the only change I can see is possibly Lundstrom coming in and somebody to play in the left-hand side, Wright or Kent, possibly. But I would be very happy if you went with the same team. I'll not be as optimistic. I'll go 4-0 Rangers, and I'll go Tony Goals to get the first goal.
Very, very positive. I'm liking it, lads. I feel bad with Lundstrom. I'm quite like Andy in Toy Story when he gets Buzz Lightyear and he ditches Woody. I've got Raskin now, and I just don't want to play with Lundstrom anymore. I'm done with him. I'm going same team, boys, from Wednesday night. I don't see any reason why you shouldn't stick with it unless there is any kind of fitness issue with Jack. And I will go 4-1 again with Rangers. And I will go first goal scorer is Tory Goals. I reckon he is going to start a bit of a streak again. Jim Stone, thank you very, very much. And thank you to...
What a man.
There he is. God bless America.
They're at it, they too, aren't they? They know they do it all the time.
I reckon they've changed. I reckon they've changed numbers, and they sit there and they go, "You go first." No, you go first.
Aye, the heads are tailing, don't they?
Thank you so much, Justin and Jim. By the way, that's fantastic. These are always proper supporting this podcast like that. I can't thank you enough for that. These are both members as well, so it's really incredible support. Thank you so much.
I get embarrassed and I get lost for words when I see these coming in. So I really, honestly, it's amazing. And Lorraine as well. I think Lorraine put 2 donations in tonight. The true Scotsman as well. He put in a couple of donations. It's brilliant. It's really.
Ali, he wants to see some of the eggheads.
Ali, quickly humour the trying Scotsman. When did you win the eggheads?
10 years ago. I'll tell you the exact day it was filmed. It was the exact day. Remember, Man City won the Premier League when Aguero scored that goal.
Neville went, "Oh, Aguero!"
I don't want to go on about it, but we were sitting in a green room at the time, and a bird popped in and she went, "Have you been studying?" And we went, "No, we're watching the football." And she must have looked at us and went, "These clowns are going nowhere." We went down. It rolls over £1,000 every show if they get beat. So you don't know what you're playing for. They said to us, "You're playing for 16 grand." And yes, we have beaten the Eggheads. So there you go. That is our claim to fame.
Fantastic.
It's an exclusive. We should have kept that that's content for subscribers, boys. That was an exclusive. There's plenty more exclusives to come. I'm going to keep mine up my sleeve. Blows that one out of the water, I'll be honest with you. It's something to do with Mastermind and me winning it, but I'll tell you another time. Right, we've came to just a bit bang on an hour, guys. Really enjoyed that because I spoke. I've actually got a few things noted down that I would have loved to spoke about, but we can do so the next time we all meet. I hope everybody enjoys the game. Thank you everyone for logging in, watching us, put comments in, doing donations. It is amazing. Like we said, we're over a million subscribers. That would be good. A million
That would be
views.
brilliant. That would be superb, mate.
However, we are closing in on a very big figure of 4,000 subscribers. If we can get to that, everybody should take a job away that you share it with a friend and make sure a friend subscribes. That is your job for the night. But before I say goodbye, let me say goodbye to my guest, Ali Pearson. Hope you have a good weekend, mate, and enjoy the game on Sunday.
I will enjoy the game. It's a good time. I'll have a wee bevy before and a wee bevy after. Tommy's coming to the game as well, so I'll look forward to it. But I will look forward to Sunday, and I will be back, no doubt, with a match reaction.
Superb, and fellow Egghead Scotia Gamo, thank you, mate.
Cheers. Just through the grapevine, I've heard that Raith Rovers having a wee night on Saturday evening to celebrate. I don't know why they're doing this, because it's 2 years later, but when they won the League Cup at our stadium, not against us, right enough. They won a bike, but they might have sore heads come Sunday afternoon.
And who did they beat against? Who did they beat at Ibrox? Oh, that's right. And Scott Carney. Thank you very, very much, mate. Thanks for letting me host again, and hope you get better for Sunday, mate.
Yes, I say I should hopefully be. It's only my fitness now. My back's the only problem, mate. Feeling wise, I feel okay. I've just not really got a voice. No, and for the record, by the way, I didn't win the Eggheads, but I didn't need to tell you that. You're well aware that I was not on the Eggheads. I am nowhere near intelligent enough to do something like that. But no, Magic, great chat tonight, lads. Thank you everybody in the chat for joining us as always, and the donations again, absolutely fantastic. Bring on Sunday. Looking forward to getting to Ibrox. So yeah, cheers everybody.
Yeah, cheers indeed. We are Club at 22, and we'll see you for a reaction on Sunday. Cheers.